prime time.
Alright, so in one sentence, John, tell what your job is today.
To predict what is going to happen in the book.
Okay. Is it a wild guess?
No.
Based on what?
The facts and information I have learned out of the book.
Good. And one sentence, Lauren, what's your job today?
Summarizing. To summarize what has happened so far.
Do you want to include every detail?
No.
Which detail?
Just the important details.
Did you realize that you're not summarizing anymore?
And Quentin, what's your job today?
Ask questions.
Why is that important?
Make sure everybody understands.
Make sure you understand. I like that answer. And also, it helps us keep our minds involved in the book because we're always looking for those answers. It gives us a purpose. It satisfies our curiosities. That's a really important one. And I'll be clarifier unless Sydney gets here, then she can clarify. And that is if anybody hears something that they don't understand, or when we're talking there's something that you don't understand, you need to let the clarifier know, and the clarifier will try to clear that up and make it so you do understand it.
And if you try clarifying, they have to yell at you.
And sometimes I do that job when I'm not supposed to. But today it's my job, unless Sydney gets here. Okay, and we've already gone over what's been happening, so let's get started. We're on page 60. Please open your book to page 60.
Is that recording?
Yes.
Diane.
It's only for Mrs. Peterson and Mrs. Potter, who are doing the same class. We're practicing this. We're all doing this, so we're just watching to see how it's going.
Dang it, I don't want to
Oh,
read.
but then I'm going to cut one parts out because this is embarrassing.
Oh, no one's going to really see it. Just us.
Besides teachers.
And not even very
teachers.
many teachers.
Let everybody see.
No,
the
not
GPS
everybody's
group-
I
going to
want
see
them
it.
to all
The
sign
GPS
up for
group
this
will
off
see
the
it.
phone.
No, the GPS groups
Everybody
won't see
has
it.
phones.
All right, Lauren, page 60. And who's our predictor?
Me.
When we left off, the crash had just happened, and we just found out he only broke his arm. So what do you think's going to happen
No,
And
next?
he
didn't
got his
break
arm
his arm.
cut open.
Oh, he got stitches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I predict he's going to be fine.
I hope so. Anything else? Okay, anyone want to add
Don't
to his
double
prediction?
fingers crossed. Or else it's bad luck.
Lauren, you're going to add to the prediction?
You want him to get
Go
hurt.
Well, I think that he's going to be okay, but then, like, yeah, I kind of predict what John says, but except, like, I also think that stitches will go wrong, maybe.
Oh, I hope not. And Quentin?
I think everything's gonna go wrong. And then the stitches are gonna mess up. And then he's not gonna be able to drive anymore.
Oh, not going to be able to drive anymore.
Stop
That would be
it.
terrible.
Negative.
It's like this.
All right, page 60. On the paragraph that starts with Doc nodded. It's about below the halfway mark.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Got it, Quentin? Here.
It's right here.
I don't.
Doc nodded. I'll give you some antibiotics then. And as for your head, he said, tilting Lavender's head back and shining a pin light in his eye again. What's wrong with his head? Dale asked, his voice wavering. He had barely spoken since Lavender came to sputtering and kicking on Doc's gurney. Doc's a walrus of a man, tall as Lavender and twice as wide, but he gave Dale a kind smile. He may have a concussion, he said. It's too soon to tell. He fished his card out of his wallet and stuck it in Lavender's shirt pocket. He needs to rest, but if he can't stay awake or he starts throwing up, you call me and I'll meet you at the hospital pronto, insurance or not. Do you understand? Dale and I nodded like dashboard dogs. Now, Lavender, where are you headed from here? Lavender was watching Sam wince what was left of the race car onto the flatbed truck. I thought I'd take my crew home and go by Sam's. Doc followed his gaze. Nope, no alcohol, no women, especially no twins. Dale touched Lavender's hand. You couldn't stay at the house. You could stay at the house, he said, just for tonight. Mama would be glad of it, and Daddy probably wouldn't mind. Excellent, Doc said. Here's my offer then. Go to your mother's with my appointed deputies here, or go to the hospital. Deputies? I repeated, standing tall. Are badges involved? It's your choice, Lavender, Doc said. What's it going to be? Lavender frowned. I guess one night at home won't kill me, he muttered. Good. Of course you're not driving with a head injury, so... I felt it coming. A phone call to the colonel, begging him to collect us up like a pack of slick-nosed kids. I had to act fast. Actually, Doc, I said, those big-haired twins over there are pining to drive us home. Chrissy can take us three in the GMC, and Missy's wild to drive the flatbed if Sam's too upset. Those twins are willing, plus they're sober out of their minds from sipping Diet 7-Up all night. Don't take my word for it. Give them a blood test. I don't mind. It worked like a charm. You sure you know how to drive this truck? Lavender asked Chrissy a few minutes later as she slid behind the wheel of the GMC. Because she's a classic and... Ready, I shouted, plopping down beside Dale and leaning against the cab. Chrissy ground the gears and we lunged into the night. Dale and I dozed until an artless downshift woke us at the outskirts of town. Must be taking the shortcut over Fool's Bridge, Dale yawned, peeking around the cab. Swirling blue lights swept the nights. Looks like a roadblock. Scared us. Maybe they're breathalyzing everybody, I said. Ryan, try to keep listening. He shook his head. Nah, too many lights. Cop lights, rescue lights, headlights. An accident, maybe, he said. Looks like they're turning people back. Sure enough, a white Cadillac purred up the narrow road toward us and oozed to a stop. 62.
I have a prediction.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to the end of the paragraph.
Okay.
The window whirred down. Pinched-faced Mrs. Betsy Simpson, mother of my arch-enemy Anna Celeste, squinted in the dark. Hey, Mrs. Simpson, I said. It's Mo. How are you? Okay, I'm stepping. Wait, let's go let the predictor have a first shot. What's happening?
Ooh, maybe Mr. Joe, or
Joe Star.
not Joe Star, I mean
Oh.
Joe, or
Jesse, Mr.
Jesse.
Jesse.
has finally died.
Ah, so maybe the murder
I was
occurred.
thinking that too.
And what do you think all this is with the swirling lights and the police cars?
Cops surrounding, making sure nobody comes to the scene.
The crime scene? They're
Like
trying to
Coach
protect the
Pass.
crime scene?
Wait,
Okay.
did Mr. Jesse die?
We don't know yet. They just left the hospital. Remember Lavender
Yeah.
crashed? And they're supposed
they
to be...
didn't leave the hospital.
Yeah,
They
they
left-
did.
yes,
They're
they did.
they're driving home. And those two twins, one was taking the kids home and one was taking Lavender back to the house.
Yeah.
So I think this is the Mo and Dale and one of the girls. They're driving along. It said the kids were napping a little and then they woke up when it was bumpy and there was a bad shift. And when they woke up, they see all these emergency vehicle lights and we don't know what it is.
Oh my God.
So, yes, the
Or s-
predictor was saying maybe it's when Jesse
The
got
murder-
murdered.
Oh, the murder. Wait.
Hold on, Lauren had hers first.
Well, like, I think that the mean girl, I think that the mean girl's mom,
Anna
Mom,
Celeste's mom.
I think she's coming to tell them what happened, like, spreading the news.
Oh, okay.
And
maybe.
so, when they saw, like, all the lights, I bet they're, like, they're wondering, like, what's going on, and, like, they're probably wondering, like, oh, did he die? Because, like, at one point they knew some...
Well, did you hear the guesses? They said maybe it's an accident. looks like they're turning people back. At first they guessed maybe they were checking people for drinking and driving, and they said, no, too many lights. It's probably not that.
Mhm.
Maybe it's an accident of some sort. And then that
Still
Mrs.
too many lights.
And then Anna
Drinking.
Celeste's mom pulled up, so maybe you're right. Maybe she's going to tell him.
Drinking juice box.
I think that the colonel was the murderer
Ooh.
because he got the car, the Underwood.
Right. That was mysterious. So I wonder if we're going to find that out. Not for a long time. I don't know.
But
And
why
good
would
morning.
the colonel try to kill somebody in his town?
I don't
He
know.
wasn't
It's
in his
very
town.
mysterious.
Trying to make. Wait.
He was
Wait a
out of
minute.
town, wasn't he?
It wouldn't give him
Right.
away because he did say before
You see Quentin
they
giving you
never
the evil
let
eye?
somebody ever stay out till 10, and he let her stay out till 10. So it gave him the time alone.
Ah,
Mystery.
some detective work going on, John. Thank you for waiting, Quentin.
Maybe he wants to stay low, and Mrs. Jessie was catching up to him, like getting all the texts, and he got suspicious, Mrs. Jessie,
Oh,
and the colonel got tired of it, and somebody got shot.
okay.
Yeah, the
Let's
colonel
see.
killed him.
Let's see what happened. We're at the top of 63. And it's Anna Celeste's mom. Mo, she said, her eyes following the GMC's lines. In a jalopy. Not my taste exactly, but how nice for you. Mean runs in the Simpson family. It ain't a jalopy, it's a classic, I said. Whatever it is, you might as well turn it around, she said, glancing at Chrissy. Fool's Bridge is closed. The police won't let you through. Closed? Dale said. Why? What happened? But her window whirred back up and she was gone. Chrissy did a surprisingly nice three-point turn and we detoured to Miss Rose's house. As we lurched to a stop, Dale vaulted over the side of the truck. You all wait out here while I see if Daddy's up, he said. Sorry to ruin your plans, Sugar, Chrissy said, hopping out, but I gotta pee. So does Daisy. So does Missy, I'm sure, she said as Missy wheeled into the drive. The four of us traipsed onto the front porch where Dale held the screen door for the twins. Mama, he called, I'm home. Miss Rose sat in her armchair, scribbling on a legal pad and listening to the radio. Hey, baby, she said, without glancing up. How'd it go? Evening, Miss Rose, I said, stepping into the lamplight. Hello, Mo. She saw the twins for the first time. My goodness, she said, jumping to her feet. I didn't realize you'd brought company home, Dale. They ain't Dale's, they're Sam's, I said. Miss Rose, I'd like to introduce you to twins. This one's Chrissy, and that one's Missy, or the other way around. I'm pleased to meet you, she said. Won't you sit down? They can't, I said. They gotta pee. I pointed to the hall. Bathroom's on your right. The light switch is in the hallway by the door. Miss Rose, I continued, I think you'd better sit down yourself. Dale nodded encouragingly, and Miss Rose drifted to the settee. Miss Rose is the most graceful person I know. Mama, where's Daddy? Dale asked. Miss Rose hesitated. He's resting. Dale looked relieved. In Lavender's old room? She nodded. Daddy sleeps in Lavender's room when he's had too much to drink because Miss Rose can't stand having him around her. I know that because Dale told me. It's not something Miss Rose and me talk about. He's sleeping pretty sound? He asked. Sleeping pretty sound is their code for passed out cold. She nodded slowly. What's this about? She asked. Let me tell her, Dale, I said. The way you tell things, you'll kill her.
Maybe it's their dad that's killing people.
Yeah, when he's drunk.
Yep, he's so crazy.
Good thinking.
Wait.
What is it they have to tell her that's going to be bad?
That Dale got into an accident
He's
and
not there yet. I don't know who's bringing her. Yeah, Lavender.
Lavender.
I knew what you meant. I don't know who's bringing Lavender there. I thought it was one of the twins.
Yeah, those
they
crazy.
said Chrissy and Missy were there.
Well, I think that
They might have
he used
taken
to be
him
killing
from
people, and then that's where the cops, and maybe the cops killed him.
Oh, what?
It's a big mystery, isn't it?
I got a big idea. So, you know that Dale